Welcome, welcome to yet another interview for Life with the Lionesses for the women in Rugby League. It's my absolute pleasure. We've been looking for lionesses all over and we're slowly gathering them all up. And it's my pleasure to have finally found Michelle Hargreaves, who was Janczuk, who is actually heritage number 36 for the Great Britain Lionesses. Comes from Bradford originally. Played for Dudley Hill, played county, toured in 1998, and also later wasn't happy enough with just that, decided to go back and coach in Dudley Hill Diamonds in 2015 for 3 years. So welcome, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi. So without further ado, what got you involved in Rugby League?
It was a challenge from my then boyfriend that I wouldn't be able to do it. I was a keen hockey player, so I came from hockey, and it was just a challenge that I wouldn't do it, and I never looked back from that.
Really? So how old would you have been?
16.
16, because you were born in Bradford then. So was it
Yes.
quite a big hockey league then in Bradford?
To be honest, it was, but I didn't do much rugby side. Like I said, it was hockey. I was into hockey and netball.
Yeah. So what was it like then? So tell us about your first experiences of playing and where you went, and because obviously I'm presuming it was Dudley Hill and when you
Yeah.
were in Bradford. So how did you find out about it?
Well, my former boyfriend was playing for Dudley Hill, the boys'
Ah,
team. So I seen the girls playing and training, and I thought, yeah, I'll go. So I went training, and kind of after my second training session, I was picked to play in the team, and it was at Guiseley. And said, whatever you do, just run with the ball. So head-eye tackle, I got up and I run, and it kind of went from there.
oh, fabulous! So that will have been in the really early days. Would have been in the 1980s?
Yes.
Yeah, so sort of because
Yeah.
it was sort of 85,
86.
86. Yeah, when it first set up. So you're one of our pioneers, which is fabulous, along with Michaela from Guiseley. So you will have played against Michaela at Guiseley,
Yeah.
Michaela Hurst.
I played
Yeah.
against Lisa McIntosh, and then Lisa came to Dudley Hill.
Yeah. So you're one of our pioneers. So you started playing, and how did you then get sort of involved in the player pathway and things like that then?
I enjoyed the sport. I enjoyed the training. I got selected for Yorkshire within my first year of playing rugby, and it just took off from there. And it was something that I really enjoyed.
Yeah. So you were playing for Yorkshire. So did you then go on the 89 tour?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting because there was a big tour to France in 1989 where 31 women went. But they actually got to France and they only played touch rugby in France at that time.
Oh, right.
So you didn't want to go on there particularly. So how many county games did you play then? And did you do any big games in county? Can you remember much about them?
I played quite a few county games, and I remember going and playing at Old Trafford as a curtain raiser. So I went
What
to
was
that
that
one.
like?
Yeah, that was amazing, running onto a pitch with the noises and the sound.
Yeah, I bet it was. Can you remember much about it?
No, I can't, to be honest. It's one of them where it's surreal, but
Mm.
I did enjoy all the elements of the game, and I enjoyed the atmosphere, and it was like a big family.
Yeah. So when you were playing at club rugby, what was it like? How many teams were in the league and what was it like?
Initially, I think there was 7 when I first started playing, and we all kind of knew each other because we played each other that regular. That it was kind of
Yeah. So can you remember the teams that were involved? Can you remember where you travelled to?
Guiseley, Barrow, Wakefield, Castleford, Halifax.
Ah, so you did, because the Barrow one would have been the killer, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It was
It
Crossfield
was good
involved.
fun on the way back there.
Yeah, I bet. And Crossfields would have been involved then, I would imagine, as well, the Warrington team.
Yeah,
Because they were,
yeah.
And it was lovely actually at that time, wasn't it? Everyone was real good friends because, as you say, they played each other.
Hull.
And Hull. Yeah, because you all played each other so often. So tell us about the Great Britain Lionesses. How did you get selected for that? What was the process that sort of went through?
It was trials. So I went to the trials and we did some quite intensive training, and then it was a nerve-wracking wait to see if you'd been selected with the letter. So when I received the letter, I was overwhelmed because my daughter was only 2 when I was selected. So when I went to New Zealand, it was my daughter's 3rd birthday while we was there. So it was all
how was that then, leaving your daughter behind?
It's one of the things that the opportunity was there, and it was something that I really couldn't miss, that opportunity.
Yeah.
So 6 weeks hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So what was the preparation like for the tour then?
A lot of training. We had extra training from our then coach as well. It wasn't the easiest training. It was very, very hard training, but it was really enjoyable, and it did put us in preparation.
Yeah. So whereabouts did you do your training things? Can you remember?
York.
Mainly at York.
York and Sheffield.
Yeah. So were you in training groups and things like that to be able to do your different training? So did they have a Dudley Hill group and a?
Yeah, we all did it together, and we were put into like backs and forwards. And
yeah. So you did all your training, and what did your family think then? So obviously you're a young mum. Well done you for sort of playing, having a baby and then playing for your country. That's absolutely awesome. So what was it, all your family and friends, what did they think?
They were really excited, and thought it was like an honour to play. I mean, I do come from a sporting background. My dad played for Bradford Park Avenue, so he was like 7th professional footballer. He also did marathons, so it was it was a good experience.
Yeah. And what was it like doing all the fundraising? How did you manage that?
My mum's a dancer, so she did quite a lot of line dancing events, which generated quite a bit for the whole of the Dudley Hill team, really. So it was really good. We did quite a bit together.
Yeah. So where was the line dancing then?
They did it at Pudsey.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that. That's fabulous. Yeah. So, and then was the raffles and things like that, and
raffles, and I then worked for Next Retail. So Next also gave some sponsorship money and some clothing to wear on top to kind of advertise the company.
Yeah. So what was it like publicity wise? Did you get involved in any of the publicity before you went? The local newspaper or Yorkshire media or anything like that?
The other ones that came is TNA came because there was a number of us from Dudley Hill that were selected. So pictures from the local newspaper for local girls that had all been selected for the team.
Yeah. I know it got quite a lot of publicity, didn't it? About going. So what's your lasting memories then? So you're finally on. Had you travelled much before you went in '98? Had you been abroad much?
I'd done family holidays, yeah.
So what about this long haul flight then? You're going on your long haul flight. What was your feelings around that and going off to New Zealand?
I think the longest I'd done prior to that was going to America. So for me, I was used to flying, but I know some of the girls that went had never flown before, and it was the first time flying, and to go halfway around the world, it was a little bit wow.
I know. Some of them talk about it. It was the first time on a plane, wasn't it? First time out of where they live. Absolutely amazing. So you land in New Zealand. So what was it like then? Going to New Zealand and training and playing?
The training and the experience was really good. The facilities were good. We gelled as a group, and we had some really good times. Not saying that the games were easy because they were quite tough. The training maintained to be tough. But Jackie Sheldon was really good with us. I think it was quite militant.
You were quite militant. So whereabouts in New Zealand did you go?
Auckland, I think.
I know you went to the South Island, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Down to Canterbury.
A lot of rain.
Yeah, there was at some points, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the difference between sort of rugby league there and rugby league back in the UK then?
You could see that the girls was brought up playing rugby in schools where we didn't do rugby in schools. It was kind of a boys' sport, girls' sport, but they could see that it was kind of second nature to them. Playing rugby was the sport of the country, and ours may have been badminton or netball.
Yeah. So what was it like then, culturally in New Zealand?
Rugby was big, so
Yeah.
I remember going to a Maori church, and the norm of the Maori church was they sang a song and you sang a song back, and I think it may have been Lucy that decided what song. So you can imagine the song that it was quite entertaining.
That was traditional, wasn't it? That you had to,
Yes.
so you had to quickly learn, didn't you, something to
Yeah.
sing? So can you remember much about the games then and what you played in? And
Played 2 of the games and I played second row. So having your name called out to go on the pitch is something like, it's something that you go and watch yourself. You wouldn't expect you to be in that kind of experience.
yeah. So what was it like playing for your country then? Hearing that national anthem and
For me, it was an honour, and it's still one of them things that whenever you get the opportunity, you can discuss. Oh yeah, I played for England, or I did this, and
oh, it's
I
fantastic,
had
isn't
that
it?
experience. But when I see the facilities and and the press that people have got now, I think I'm glad that I was part of that to make that grow into what we've got now.
Well, you're true pioneers of it because without all, the hard work and the dedication that you all did before, we wouldn't be where we are today, I don't think. So it is lovely to see it growing, isn't it? But actually
Yeah,
then to look back at how hard you trained, conditioning wise, and what the expectations were and how much money you had to fundraise, it was pretty phenomenal what you did, wasn't it? And a mum of a little toddler.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty phenomenal. So, what's your have you got any overriding memories sort of New Zealand and any of the antics that might have gone on or any of the games?
It was more of the songs and the fun that we had, responding back with the songs that we sang back to them, and they were usually led by Lucy and Jane.
Oh dear, the two characters of the team.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, what do you think the most challenging bit was about playing for Great Britain?
probably getting the money together to fundraise to be enabled to go, because working class people that were had to fundraise and ensure that they had the leave from work. And some didn't get paid from work; they had to use holidays or unpaid leave. So all them elements probably are the things that you've got to consider as well. But I wouldn't have changed what I chose.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what about the when you sort of look at your international career, but also your rugby league career, what are you most proud of?
It would have been putting on the Brit shirt
Yeah,
and
yeah.
being in that lineup, and not just for myself, but to be in that team and to be a part of that.
Yeah. And those outstanding internationals. So when you reflect, sort of, you then moved on, didn't you, a bit later into coaching? What made you sort of get involved in it? Because it was quite, did you stay playing for quite a bit after 98?
I did for some time, and then I had a crucial ligament reconstruction, which resulted in then I had both knees reconstructed. So I was unable to play, but I missed the game. So I went back to do some coaching. And during that coaching time, I did play the odd game as well.
So tell us how you got involved. So you got involved in coaching after injuries. So did you have to do some coaching courses, and what was it like,
Yeah,
the league then?
yeah, I did my coaching course 1 and 2. And
Mm.
I was approached by somebody, oh, please do it. So I kind of said, yeah, okay. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to kind of be involved and give something back. And it's nice to encourage and to see people gaining something from your experience.
Yeah. So what years did you coach then?
2015 to 2018.
Ah, right. And it was Dudley Hill Diamonds. And was that the Winter
Yeah,
League then?
yes,
Yeah. So it was part of Wala.
yeah,
Yeah. So they would have been playing regular fixtures in the winter, because by then they'd changed to Summer and Winter League, hadn't they?
yeah.
Yeah. So did you have any talented players move on to bigger and better things?
Yeah, there were Manina Spur. Um, there were quite a few that I could see that moved then to like the Thunderbirds, or moved to Wakefield, or moved to Leeds, just for that bigger experience and for something a little bit better than the third division, because we started in the third division. People I could see moving up the league.
Mm.
And I still
So,
see some of the names that still play today.
oh, that's lovely to see, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's lovely to see when you've done some coaching. I know I did some coaching in Hull, and it was lovely to see some of them come through and even reach internationals. Not because of my coaching, I
yeah.
might add. It was nothing to do with me. Oh dear, I just coached them when they were young girls. So when you look back and reflect back, what do you think about your whole achievement in rugby league and your involvement?
To be honest, it's not something that I think about until I saw about the heritage and the England cap, and you think, no, it's something that you should be proud of, and it is something that should be displayed, and to be recognised for something that comes freely if I was a male.
Yeah,
So when
absolutely.
you look at the gender gap, I think it is slowly closing at the moment, and I think that's good. It needs to.
Yeah. So what do your kids think now? Because obviously they'll be older, won't they?
Yeah, I've just got the one daughter, so and she did. She's a sports teacher, so she understands it. She always enjoyed it, and most of the girls that I played do know Lauren because she grew up in the rugby family,
She had no
but she
option, did
didn't
she?
play. She didn't play.
She had no option, did she? She was always going to be into sport.
Yeah, yeah.
So, when you look at the women's game now, then what do you think about the? Is there anything next for you personally, or what do you think about sort of the women's game and the progression that it's made?
I can see that it's moved leaped milestone. It's so much more advanced. I look at the game; it's much faster than what it was when I played the game.
Yeah.
But better reputation. It's nice to see that it's looking at that professional atmosphere and getting the recognition that women deserve in sport.
Mm. And what would you say to a young woman now then about playing rugby league?
Depends what day you ask me. Sometimes my knees on my back and my legs, and I think, oh my God, what did I do that for? But no, on a serious note, I would always say take up that chance, take that challenge, go for it, because it's something within the family that you will really enjoy. It's a nice room, it's a good atmosphere, and they get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
I certainly did.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a long career when you look at it, right from the beginning, right up to 2018. And I'm just so pleased we managed to locate you, Michelle, and everything that you sort of do now and you've done for the sport. And you are one of our pioneers, you know, one of the early doors women actually playing. And obviously playing internationally is just absolutely a great, great honour. Thank you so much for being involved, and hopefully you'll sort of look back on this with proud moments and then get involved back in the sport as well.
Yeah, who knows?